Well, howdy doody. Live. It seems to be taking a minute to show us that we're live, but I believe we are. Let me make sure Instagram is going live so we can see our Instagram folks. We'll make sure we can see over there. It says we're live. Doesn't look like it just yet. Okay. Ooh, this is moving, man. It's slow. All right. Good morning, everybody. It's Tuesday, July the 9th. Tuesday, July the 9th. And we are here to check out what's going on today. So, yesterday we had, as you can see, can we see here? Was this yesterday? Actually, this was all yesterday, kind of up, down, up, down. Let's go look at SPX, just SPX by itself. Good morning, Ward. Look at you right in here, first thing in the morning. First thing in the morning. So this was yesterday's price action on SPX. This is what the market looked like yesterday. Kind of just hung out in a zone, probably waiting for today, the volatility of today, which will include Powell speaking this morning. I believe he's testifying this morning, which may lead us to some information about the rate cuts. We'll see. CPI and PPI are later this week. But this is what yesterday looked like. Kind of had a gap up, ran up a little bit. This is the 5-minute chart. Sorry, the 15-minute chart. And then it pulled back through the gap, got to the bottom of the gap, kind of paused a bit, and then danced around. Is basically what happened on yesterday. Basically, that's what happened on yesterday. And if you were doing a seller trade, when the price is just kind of consolidating in the middle like this, it's none of like the premiums don't really decay because you're not going one. The only thing that's helping your premiums decay in this situation is time. So you can be looking from minute to minute and you're like, are we ever going to, are my premiums going to decay? And it just takes a while. So this is Tesla I'm looking at real quick, just because I remember it popped yesterday and then it started pulling back and looks like it pulled back all the way almost back to where it opened. So the open yesterday was, Lord, I can't see what that says. Okay, the open was at 247. It went up as high as 259, so another 13 points, 12 points, and then pulled back off there. And we actually closed at 252, so only a few points, about 4 or 5 points higher than what Tesla. When I say we, Tesla opened yesterday. That's how that went. Let's see what we got on the horizon this morning. Good morning, everybody who's joining. Come on in, come on in, come on in. This is the VIX. The VIX is at 12.47. It's up 0.81%. VIX is the volatility index or the fear index. Fear in the market index looks like we're at 12.47 at this point, up 0.81. I hesitate to talk about the up versus down because at this point the market steady up, even though the VIX seems to be going up too. It's weird, right? How a tiny data move could give the Fed a big headache. Unemployment data is close to setting off a reliable recession alarm. Ooh, U.S. futures rise to more records with Powell on deck. Wall Street strategist explains why he's abandoning an S&P 500 stock. That's probably something they want you to buy. Most top CEOs are keeping their money away from Trump. I will not comment. Beat the rigged market. Any Glicks VWAP success strategy. S&P Bitcoin and the election market takeaways. Okay, that's what we got in Yahoo Finance. Looking at CNBC, stock futures rise slightly after S&P 500 and NASDAQ close at fresh records. It's like, ain't no stopping us now. Just basically going on. No one's picking up the phone. Joe Biden's fundraising confronts new hurdles after the debate. BP shares dropped 3% after warning of up to $2 billion impairment, weak refining margins. Did y'all know yesterday Boeing pled guilty to fraud, basically, with something to do with that plane that went down, and the price of the stock went on up. It went on up. Let's look at it real quick. Boeing pled guilty, which, some of these things are priced in. I think they got some millions of dollars in fines, which, felt like it might have been priced in. But this was yesterday. It did pop at the beginning of the market. At the open, it went up to about an hour. It went up to about 191, but from that point forward, it fell and fell and fell, and we went down as low as 182. So that's about 10 points, and then it recovered. Looks like about half of those, not too far below where it opened yesterday, and we actually closed here at 185. 185. So opened at 187 and closed at 185. Basically, when they say a round trip, it kind of did the same thing. Ooh, fell down. This was Boeing yesterday. That's what Boeing did yesterday. And in the pre-market, it's just seemingly holding steady. Those kinds of events, even though, people, I guess they knew their Boeing was going to plead guilty. What you didn't know was how big the fine was going to be. And maybe a couple million, several million wasn't a big fine. And the people who are the shareholders were okay with that. Anyway, good morning, Tanya. How we doing? So that's what went on with Boeing. San Francisco's AI boom can't stop real estate slide as office vacancies reach a new record. I'm sure that's not just in San Francisco. Tuesday's analyst calls NVIDIA to pop 40%. Netflix gets a price target increase. Ding, ding, ding. Anytime they get a price target increase, that generally means the price starts to move towards the target. NVIDIA is going to pop 40%. Amazon announces a new $79 Echo Spot alarm clock. Ooh. Oh, Echo alarm clock. Listen, they're always coming up with something new to get your money. Something new to get your money. I know that my friend ALEXA is quite helpful around here. So I want them to develop everything they need to develop. It works for me. We're going to look at NVIDIA, and we'll look at Netflix this morning. So, morning, Asleen. These are our meetings for today. 6 o'clock, we had the NFIB Small Business Index at 9:15. FOMC member Barr will speak at 10 o'clock. Powell will testify. So, okay, if you're going to jump in something this morning, you need to know that at 10 o'clock, it could definitely take a turn, right? Good morning, Janae. I'm doing great. I'm doing wonderful. Even though something's going on with my eyes, my glasses aren't keeping things sharp. I don't know what. Sometimes they're fine and sometimes they're not. So something's going on within my eyes. Treasury Secretary Yellen is going to speak at 10, and FOMC member Bowman will speak at 1:30. So there's a few, the 10 o'clock with Powell speaking or testifying is going to, definitely cause some volatility in the market. So definitely be prepared for that to happen this morning. And he will testify again tomorrow morning. Okay, he was testifying today and he's testifying again tomorrow morning. So for those of us who are doing the 1 DTEs, you want to keep this in mind. Now, when you enter your 1 DTE, you enter in the next morning. I put in my close order the next morning right away. Morning, Abra. Janae says, your thoughts on theta? Can it work after 1 day or better after 3 days? So each day, theta has a per day. When you look at the theta on a particular strike, it's working per day. So if you want theta decay, if you hit two things that are going to decay, theta is, of course, is time decay. So 1 day's worth of time is going to have less impact than 3 days worth of time if you're just looking at theta. But our premiums decrease. They're not just decreasing based on time. They're based on time and price action, right? So theta decay is one piece. Price action is the other. If you're in a put credit spread, let's say, and you're believing that it's going to go up, as price goes up, then your premiums are also going to decay because current price is getting further away from your strike, right? So that's one way. If prices just kind of hanging in and consolidating, then your premiums won't decay as fast because price action is not taking it away, but you're only getting time help. Okay, so if you're looking at entering a trade, like when I entered those trades on Friday, you enter a credit spread on Friday, you've got Saturday, Sunday, and the market opens on Monday. You got those 3 days, which is going to be different than if you entered a trade on Monday to see the theta decay for Tuesday. It's only 1 day. But if you enter on Friday, by the time you get to Monday, you surpass 2 days, right? So you're going to get better theta decay. I hope that makes sense to you. Of course, the more time, the more theta decay. But the decay of premiums is based on theta and based on price action. If price action is stagnant, then it's only theta. If price action is moving the way you want it, then you're going to get the benefit. Of course, if price action is moving towards you, the premiums are going to go higher just because of the proximity to your strike. All right. I hope that was clear. Let me go here, see what else we had. Oh, we look at investing.com. See if there's anything else that pops up on the investing.com calendar. Powell testifying, Yellen is talking 11:30, 52-week bill auction, short-term energy outlook, 3-year notes. Yep, that's about it. And then that weekly crude oil is at, that's 4:30, which will be after the market's closed. Bowman is speaking at 1:30. Okay, let's go see what's going on with what Adam had to say. And are we there? Nope, not yet. Come on. Put me on the screen. What is taking you so long to respond? Oh, there we go. Ah, la. Okay, earnings for this morning is Berna and Helen of Troy. That's this morning, and this afternoon we're going to have SGH. Let me see who these little guys are. Cura and Saratoga. Tomorrow morning we'll have Thera Technologies and MAMU. That's all tomorrow, today and tomorrow. At the end of the week, we know our banks are going to start up, and that's going to start the Q3. Adam says, we're officially 1 week now from the original 54.51 long entry on SPX with no dip. This may occur one time a year. Yesterday, 55.82 was the second target. We based here all night. The plan, nothing to do but ride the runners until we dip. 55.71 to 75 is support to keep 55.87, 55.97 plus alive. 55.71 fails, then we dip to 55.60. The difference between ES and SPX is 55 points. XSP traders, 560 is your call credit spread side, and 556 is your put credit spread side. Good morning, Karen. Okay, that's what Adam had to say. Adam trades level to level, and then he trades with the ES. So we have to transcribe his numbers to match the PX, and that's how we work that. I'm trying to go from screen to screen. I shared this with my community and on my social media, and I wanted to share it here as well. Using the trend spread alerts, which I'm going to show you an example here in a second, but trend spread alerts. I went into Taiwan Semiconductors on Friday. You can see here at the 773. I'm not sure if you all see my mouse when I do that, but at the 7.3, I entered, which was Friday. No, was 7.3 Friday or Monday? 7.3 was, no. 7.3 was Wednesday. I entered on Wednesday. And the reason I did that was because I wanted to utilize the theta decay of the holiday. Okay, I wanted that extra day of theta decay. So I entered on Wednesday, collected $54 for my credit spread. This is a 2.5 spread. So I used $250 of collateral, but I collected 54. So really I only put up $200 of collateral. I collected $54 when I entered. Then on Friday, the market opened on Friday, I closed it for $14. Means I kept $40 of this, so $40 of profits using $250. Then I turned around and used that same money. I used that same money because after once you close this trade, right, that money is available. I'm available to you. The money said it was available to me. So at 12:30, 12:03, I entered another Taiwan semiconductor trade with that same $250. And I collected 54 more dollars, right? Collected 54 more dollars. And then that was Friday. And then on Monday, which was yesterday, I closed it for $18. All right. So I collected a total of about $80, but I got to keep was about $80, a little less than $80, 32% profit using $250 of collateral. And this was in a few days from Wednesday to Monday, right? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 5 days, $80 using the 250. Now, trading the 250s or trading the 2.5 spreads can be a little bit scary because you're putting up your $250 of collateral. If it doesn't go well, you're like, well, what do we do? But they do provide pretty decent premiums. This Taiwan Semiconductors came from one of the Peakbot alerts. I think there's several people in the community that are starting to use the Peakbot alerts. This is what they look like. All day. This watch list runs all day. So if you get the alerts for $5 a week, again, I get no kickback. I just believe that they're useful, right? Very useful and very beneficial financially. I'm thinking of another word, but that one will work. Very beneficial financially. This watch list is available all day. It updates every 5 minutes. So if you want to enter trades throughout the day, I generally enter mine around noon. That's when it's a good time for me. But you can enter these whenever you want, to be honest. It populates with the 10 of the trend spreads. Notice here, this first one, what is that first one? Moderna. And they tell you we're going to sell a call. So basically it's a call credit spread. And then NVIDIA, they gave you NVIDIA for a put credit spread. Now I use only the sell leg, right? I only use the sell where it says sell this call strike and sell this put strike. I only use that. And then I make it a one spread, or I just do one away. I don't do as wide as Peakbot suggests, but you very well could. Just know if you're going from 125 to 119, that's a 5 spread for a 5.5 spread, to be honest. And then the 121 to 140, that's an 18-point spread. I'm not personally putting $1,800 on a trade, but people do. It's just not me, right? I'm just not one of those people. So I would do like 121, 122, or 121, 123. That would be me. Well, here with the 125, I did 124, 125 on NVIDIA. Okay, so I would just do the next one up or the next one down. But these 10 stocks here are suggested, and the trade is suggested as well. Pick which one you like. Or ones you like. If you have more than one that you like, pick which ones you like. Now we are in just 1 July, so we're trying to just pick one. But I'm not trying to tell nobody how to manage their own monies. Also, look at the IWM. These are the iron condors, and these are 1 DTE. So you enter today with tomorrow's expiration. Enter today with tomorrow's expiration. These are not 0 DTE trade suggestions. These are not 0 DTE trade suggestions. Okay, they are 1 DTE trade suggestion, which means you're entering today with tomorrow's expiration. So it tells you here, they even tell you the expiration date. When you're looking at this, it says, look at this expiration date. So today it's 7/9. When you look at the watch list today, it will say expiration date 7/10. All right. And anyway, you go in on these, you can get in on these, do an iron condor, collect. Notice here, you collecting 40, 50, 46, 45. You're collecting about this amount of money, which is about a 50-50 risk to reward. This is always a good thing, right? 50-50 risk to reward is doable. And then you enter this trade. The next day you put in your close order, right? The next morning I put in my close order. If anybody's got questions about that, feel free to send me a message or ask in the comments. You can do that or whatever. But anyway, this is what, good morning, Lorenzo. You can go to alerts. peakbot.com for the alerts for $5 per week. Use free 2 for 2 free weeks of alerts. Go check it out. Maybe do it if you get 2 weeks for free. Do it in your sim. If you like it, go ahead and keep paying. If not, then chuck it. Nobody's going to force anybody. I just do see that when I get ready to go around noon, it saves me a whole lot of effort to just go and look to see what's on the top 10 list with Peakbot. They already give you the strikes. Yes, I go look at my chart to make sure I agree, but those strikes are based on the 30 or around the 30 delta. So I know that that's what they're using for the criteria. That's pretty much where I'm going to pick anyway, because I usually pick about the 30 delta anyway. So I'm cool with that plan, right? I'm cool with that plan. Peakbot, those my dudes. I know what they're doing. They're looking out for the sellers. They're looking out. Nobody usually looks out for us. Nori said, you're using Peakbot. You're gonna use it today for the first time. Yay! Go ahead and give it a thing. If you want Peakbot to do the automated trading for you, where it will enter the trades for you, I actually have TQQQ and Exxon working for me at this point. Where it enters for you, then you can sign up there at usepeakbot.com. I think that's the automated is great because now I've said I go in at 12 o'clock and enter those trades, but Peakbot is entering on Friday for the subsequent week. It's going the weeklies for me, and it gets good premiums on Friday. And then Monday or Tuesday, I get to close it up. If the price moves, I can close it up. Okay, this is our list for the week that I came up with. Well, the watch list came from Peakbot. I came up with the strikes. I'm going to look through a few of these. I got a few stocks. If you got something you want us to look at, I got a few I'm going to look at. I'm going to look at NVIDIA, Taiwan Semiconductors, Pinterest, XSP, and IWM. Those are the ones I'm going to look at. So if you got something else you want us to check out, then let me know. I'm doing NVIDIA, Taiwan Semiconductors, Pinterest, XSP, and IWM. Come on. There we go. If you got something you want us to look at, put it in the chat. We should be on 2. Come on, baby. Okay, this should be NVIDIA. Let's look at the daily chart. See what NVIDIA did yesterday. Look at that big old wick at the top yesterday. This is almost a shooter. It's almost a shooter. Those are the pivot points that you see. Those lines there are pivot points. And they've been quite accurate as well, showing that if you get to a place, it might go past it a little bit because of the fact that, nothing stops dead on the line. But notice it didn't go past it, but so much. This was yesterday. It went all the way up to these pivot points, but it came back down and closed. This is a pretty big indecision, honestly, but this is called a 2 up if you're a stratter. It's a 2 up candle. It didn't close what they call in force because it didn't close above the previous day candle, but it went up there, but it's not in force. DPZ, I'll put it on my list. DPZ. Okay. So it looks like NVIDIA does have some upwards mobility. Let's see if we can look at a line chart. I believe I can see what I want to see, but I want to make sure. I think it's easier to see. Come on, you can go ahead and put the line there. There we go. Easier to see the pivots when you look at the line chart, or where is the support and resistance when you look at the line chart. There's one right in here. It's look about around in that same general vicinity. And currently where NVIDIA is, looks like that's also a turnaround place. Okay, let's go back to our chart. Let's go back to the candles. It's like we're at some resistance. Shoom, big old candle right there, but we are still in an uptrend. Nvidia has a gap that it needed to fill. Looks like it filled it actually here and then went back, and the price action filled it there as well. The top of that gap would be right in the 130 area, a little bit less than 130. So if we're looking at Nvidia I definitely would continue to work with put credit spreads. Yes, you could go on to call credit spreads if you were feeling real randy. You need to be feeling real randy to go up here, but I do see 135 as good resistance there. Turn it back to candles. 135 as some resistance. So you could very well go on up there. I'll put it on the chart and you can decide accordingly. Call credit spread 135, 136, 135, 136. Actually, current price is 130. Let me open up. I want to look real quick to see what's the plus minus number for Nvidia. I honestly would not suggest that you get on top, especially because it just talked about, we just saw on the thing that that Nvidia could pop 40%. So I wouldn't necessarily jump up there for a call credit spread. We got a plus minus 5, which puts you at the 135 area. Plus minus 5, that puts you there. But let's go look at the put credit spread. If we were subtracting 130, we would be down here in the 125 area. PCS 124, 125. I'm trying to think of what do I have? I got that same trade. 124, 125 is what I have for this coming Friday. Yep, I have that same trade. It can go ahead and pop. Pop away, Nvidia, pop away. Do all the popping you want to do. Okay, let's look at DPZ. I need to read about that indicator. It's an indicator I added called the 50% indicator, and it's now giving me information. Okay, there's a gap here that needs to be filled. I have to turn those things off because they get me distracted. Those things get me distracted. Okay, do that. That's fine. Okay, so I would look at the time frame continuity is showing it going downwards, but I would probably look at the put credit spread because it just bounced off of that support really well. So I'd probably go with DPZ. Oh, Domino's Pizza. Domino's Pizza is $500 stock. What are y'all doing? I didn't know that it was $500. I think we talked about Domino's Pizza last week, how I used to work for Domino's. Plus minus 9.9 or plus minus 10. So I would go to put credit spread at 495 or below. The bottom of this is 492, and the bottom of the gap is 490, 498. So I believe 495 would actually be. I'm assuming it's a 5 spread. Yep, it is. No, it's 492.5. It's got it gets to 2.5 in this area. 492.5 is a 73% probability out of the money. 495 is 66. So that may be a little closer than one would like to go. So I'm going to change this to 490, 492.5. I think personally, if I was trading it, 495 probably would be okay. But I don't usually get below 70% either of probability out of the money. So I probably would go with the trade that I just put on the screen. You could go up as well. Since current price is in this area, Current price is 505. It's a little up now from where it closed yesterday. You could go up 10 and be at 515, which 515 is in this area here, which would work because it could work. I always say would work. I don't mean to say would work. It could work because there is some resistance here. There's some resistance in this area. So a call credit spread above 515 could also possibly work. Okay. Go Daddy. Ward, are you in our Telegram? Are you in my Educator to Trader Telegram? I gotta see what these mean. I think they're pivot places or targets. I think that's what these are. Is targets. But I need to read it. This is GoDaddy, and GoDaddy definitely is on the upwards ride. It's got a bullish trend going. All this is momentum. It did hit up here and pull back a bit. Let me see what I would put on for lines. I would look at that one. I would look up here to see what happened up here at this resistance place. Right up in here. Put credit spread above 142. Let me see, GoDaddy. GoDaddy is plus minus 3. So you take away, you can get down to 140 maybe. 139, 140. If the premiums allow, which 140 puts you down here, even below this. So you probably could get even closer. Let me see what the probability of the monies are showing up here. 141 is actually 75%. So you could go up one more. If interested, depending on your level of risk. You need to join the Telegram board. Okay, what I have next on my list. Let's look at Pinterest. Pinterest, I've got on the put credit spread list. Some support here at 42.93. Let me see what kind of put credit spread list. Yeah, 42.5. This is the 0.5 spread, so you really could do 0.5 if you wanted. I've got 41 as the strikes, but it's moved up some, so you really could go, according to what I see here, you could go with 41, 42, or 41.5, 42.5. 41, 42, or 41.5, 42.5. Whichever one had the most. 42.5 is a 75% probability out of the money, or 0.25 delta. That could work. It could work. It could work. Okay, that's Pinterest. Let me see if I see some. Oh, this top gap hasn't been filled just yet. Not all the way. So that's going to provide a little support and resistance, already not support, resistance here as well. The gap, the entire gap, partway through the gap, which looks like it might have gone a little bit more than halfway through it already. If it goes, it's got to go and get the rest. It's kind of gotten some of it already. That's about the halfway mark. I'm just eyeballing it. And that's 43.89. So what I say, plus minus 3? Plus minus 3 puts you at 46. No, it's plus minus 1. Sorry. This is Pinterest. Plus minus 1.3. So 1.3 puts you at 45. Call credit spread at 45 or above. Anybody ever trade Pinterest? I've not traded Pinterest in forever. I was gonna say Intel popped yesterday. Somebody else, I was looking at it. Intel showed up on the scanner that I looked at over the weekend. It showed up on the screener for some upside movement, and it decided to quote unquote squeeze. It moved a whole month's worth in a day, which probably means it'll sit there. Probably means it'll sit there now. Yeah, it's probably just go sit there now. It's like I moved too much. I'm tired. I was tired, boss. Let me see what Intel. This was Intel yesterday. Did anything happen? Let's see if something happened that made Intel move like this yesterday. U.S. stocks, positive start. Jerome Powell heads to Capitol Hill. Analyst flags futures, social buzz. Wall Street beat stocks mostly advancing. Pre-market. Nvidia, Intel to open higher. So Intel might be going on some more. Look at the pre-market. Intel in the pre-market is up here. What is that? 30. Wait, Jesus, 34. 34.97. I get a little bit closer, maybe I can see it. 34.97. It's opening. It's already done jumped. What is the catalyst? Anybody know the catalyst for Intel? I knew I should have entered Intel yesterday. I looked at it a couple times and was like, I'm not sure what, man. I think I got distracted and then didn't look at it again. But it was on my list. It was on my list. Okay. Yeah, this is Intel. It will have this gap to fill at some point in the future. It will have this gap to fill. And if it gaps up this morning, it will have another one to fill. But Intel decided finally that it was ready. Intel's been in this zone. Y'all see this? Intel's been, you know what? It's in the gap. There was a gap back here from earnings. There were a gap down for the last earnings in April, which was 9 months ago, a year ago, over a year ago, and now it's in that gap. Well, now, what you say now? Okay, I had that. Taiwan Semiconductors. Come on. It had a gap up open as well yesterday. Actually closed here and opened here, but then we got the price action that it filled most of it. All of that got filled. This one here, though, is not filled. Okay. Even though it popped yesterday, it came down all day long. So Taiwan Semiconductor puts did their thing. I will. Oh, thank you, Janae, for reminding me about Netflix. I hadn't traded Intel in a while either for all the reasons that we talked about. Now, it's for iron condors, it wasn't doing so bad because it actually was doing okay for iron condors for a while, but then just was like hovering, like, come on, are you gonna do anything? It didn't. Why is that not showing up there, that little mark? But either way, let's go to the candles. Feel like that. Let me put a line on it because I don't want that to be forgotten. I am not forgotten. I am not forgotten. He knows my name. Okay. Lorenzo said, I see it coming down for sure. I've been trading Intel up the gap, but it started falling. Yeah, I definitely, it popped this morning. We'll see what happens, but it may just be a gap and pull back, not a gap and go. Okay, Taiwan Semiconductors. With the way this fell yesterday, I probably would go with a call credit spread. Let me see if I can get it on my chart. It fell yesterday pretty hard or pretty steady So I fell pretty steady. Even now, it's at 188 this morning, but call credit spread would be at 195, which is above where we are. CCS one, I think it's 197.5. Taiwan Semiconductors is it might be in the bullish area. Let me see. When I picked out yesterday, I made a copy of this. This was yesterday. Come on, so I can see what was it. Is it still on the bullish or bearish according to the trend in Peakbot? And the Peakbot trend is based on the Peakbot trend is based on 67 days, the 67-day moving average. Yeah, it's showing it as bullish on here. See down here at the next to the bottom, 175, 180. So this is based on, like I said, it's based on 67 days, the 67-day EMA. So it's taking the trend over a longer period of time, not the day-to-day, week-to-week trend. So if it shows bullish for that 67-day period, that's what you're going to get as far as the suggestions on which side to work with. Okay, so that's what's up with that. I traded it on the put credit spread side because I was following the alerts, which worked for me. I showed y'all my results already, right? But I do see that it hit up here and pulled back, so you may be able to 195. Pre-market is at 188, and Taiwan Semiconductors has a plus minus 7.9 or plus minus 8. So 188 plus 8 is like 196. So it'll put you right in the middle of these two. So if you're going to do that, you definitely want to keep an eye out. All right, keep an eye out for it. Okay, let's see what kind of notes I hear here. We're going to look at Netflix right now. Hi, Sheila. Yeah, God knows my name. I need him to know my name too. Now I will say Intel might be good to hold, like NVIDIA and maybe Palantir. You know, I've always felt like Intel would be good for. Why is the camera not doing anything? Why is the camera off? This is weird. Okay. Y'all hold, please. The camera is off. I do not know why. Let's go look at the settings. Maybe I touched it. Let's get back to the proper camera. There we go. Looks like we're at the proper camera now. I was frozen in place. This was not the plan. Yeah, I think I've always felt like Intel does have some movement, like it could really get popping, but it hadn't been popping. So it says they announced a new GPU fabricated by by Taiwan Semiconductors. Oh, that might be it. They had some news. Lorenzo said, Tanya, they had to do something to get in the game. They sure did, because they were definitely getting left behind. Talk about left behind. Intel. And they got all the parts to really be players, but it's just like they needed to get on the ball. Needed to get on the ball. They were definitely getting left in the dust. Let's go look at Netflix. We looked at NVIDIA. Now we'll look at Netflix. Netflix got an updated price target is what we just said. Yeah. And it's $690. Now, Netflix really needs to decide, like the rest of the world, that they need to go ahead and split. I mean, come on, Netflix. Come on. Even though I made some really good money off you know what? Did I make good money off my Netflix trade? Last week, we looked at Netflix as an iron condor, and one of my sides, because Netflix started moving really hard, one of the sides got breached. I ended up closing it at break even. No, I made some money, but it wasn't anywhere near the money I was supposed to make off it. I was set to, I think I entered and made like $90, and I think I had to close it for right at that or a little bit less than that. I didn't get my full money off Netflix last Tuesday or Wednesday we talked about Netflix. I didn't get all my monies off them. So now we got to look because the premiums was yes. The premiums were yes. So maybe what we do, Arlissa, is not iron condor this, but just go with one side. How about we do that? Especially since we just found out that they got an upgraded price target. So how about we look at what would be good supports. So they're plus minus 16.9 or plus minus 17, and they're currently at 690 in pre-market. 690 minus 17 puts us at what? 677. What did I say? 19? Take away 19. Puts us at 671. 671, which is below several of these. Let's do though. Let's put it on here. Put credit spread at, I don't think it's, I'm pretty sure it's not a one spread way up here. And it's not. 672.5 is 77.5% probability out of the money. So I would do 670, 672.5. I would be confident with 672.5. If you're one who wants a little more downwards assurity, I knew that was going to do that. Why do you always pick, when I hit enter, it always goes back to Apple. Maybe it knows how to, maybe it knows how to go back to the top of the list. Or 667.5, 670. Yeah, I probably would do it that first one. 670, 672.5. Let's look at what kind of money. Now, this money won't be the same money when the market opens, but it'll probably be close. 670, 672.5. Shows $52. $52 for 250 of collateral. Yep, that's 20% return on my monies. Yes. How about we put that on our list? Netflix, 670, 672.5 on the put credit spread side. Okay. If you're feeling a little more, risky, if you're feeling a little more risky, you can go with, I wouldn't get too much more risky, but if you 70% is 677.5. 675 and 74. Actually, I probably know neither one of those is really too risky, in my opinion, which, y'all know how that goes. 672.5, 675 is paying $62. And if you want 667.5, that's paying $72. That's 30% return on your collateral. Ooh, yeah. As that boy says on TikTok, I think his name is Terry. I think that's his name. Okay, so that's Netflix. 250 collateral and pull in $70. Yeah. Okay, I have one more I want to look at because we didn't look at IWM. I'm getting close to the time I need to wrap us up. I always want to try to be off of here before the market opens, just to make sure everybody has time to really get their minds ready. Even though as sellers, we don't necessarily trade the open, doesn't mean we don't watch, because we do. We watch. And not just that, I need to go to work. I need to go teach. I won't even talk about how that's going. Y'all don't want to hear it. All right. Definitely going to read this and find out what these numbers are. I need to know what's being suggested here. Support I still see here. Current price is at 201. Yesterday it closed at 202. IWM has been coming through on those daily alerts. IWM has been doing its thing. I did close it yesterday. I had 202 as the call credit spreads at 202, 203, and it hovered up there longer than I wanted it to. So I went ahead and closed that side for break even, and it ended up finishing the day at like 202.2, 202.20, something like that. So my trade would have been partially breached, but I didn't want that kind of. I just was earlier in the day when I was looking to get into for the next day. I went ahead and just closed it because I find that even if I see it doing that, it just takes mental energy from me to keep going back to look and see. And I'm like, this it ain't even worth it. I'm gonna close it, and then I entered. Um, I entered again for tomorrow. Like I said, I saw those Netflix premiums last week, and my eyes nearby jumped out my head. Nearby jumped out my head. I was humbled very quickly. Yeah, I did. I entered the Netflix trade last week. I entered that iron condor. I did get breached on one side, and I think I closed it. One side of it got breached though. I don't actually remember. I think Netflix ran up like last week. Anyway, IWM on the suggestions. If you'll see on these suggestions, IWM strikes are really close. I'm bringing it up to the screen. The IWM strikes are pretty close because IWM doesn't move a whole lot, but if it starts to get moving or if it starts to squeeze, then it could potentially cause issues. See IWM at the top up here. It's got the sale part is 201, 200, 201. And then the call side is 203, 204. That's basically a 2-point, that's 2 points between the sale leg. That's a tight 2-point iron condor. That means it needs to close between those two. What I did yesterday was I looked at the strikes they suggested, and then I did a look at the chart again to make sure. And I went up one more because IWM seemed like it wanted to kind of hover in that 202 area. I think 203 got suggested yesterday. I went up and did 204, 205. And because I'm doing an iron condor, you're pulling in money from both sides anyway. I was able to leave a few dollars on the table, right? So that I could kind of watch. I left a little more room on the top side. I left a little more room up there. Okay. Let me go through what we have for slides. We gave our list there. Free charting checklist. I looked at this, and what's happening for those of you who are on who said you did not get your charting checklist, as soon as you enter this information, two things happen. One of them is another screen pops up that says, here is a link to the product. The second thing is an email is sent to you that says, here is the link to the product. So people who are saying they didn't get it, you could go back and check your email, because in the email, look for an email from me, obviously, for the free charting checklist. It says, here is the link to the checklist, and you just click on the link. Yeah. So Abra's asking, is that the same as RUT? Yes. Jamie says RUT and IWM are very similar, are the same thing. That is what he likes to trade. RUT and IWM is very similar to that. It doesn't move a whole lot. RUT is the Russell 2000, and IWM is based on the Russell 2000. So, yep, iShares of Russell 2000. They're basically the same thing. And they both are, one DTE, so that works out great. Vertical spreads training. If you've been watching me talk about the 177, 150, 125s, those strikes, and you're not sure what I'm talking about there, that's the vertical credit spreads training. And you can get that vertical credit spreads training at my website to see how do you maximize and pull in profits and premiums as a seller using vertical credit spreads. I am convinced that vertical credit spreads is one of the quickest way to grow a small account. I'm convinced. Okay. Options 411, if you're here and you just don't really know a lot about options, but really want to learn, options 411 is available at my website. I believe it's $17. You can go over there and grab options 411 training for $17 at educatortotrader.com. I think I've left a few things out of when I was typing. I missed something. Educator to delete educatortotrader.com. Here we go. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Put the notification bell, put the like, say that, you want to hang out with us because we hang out. We're cool people. The alerts are $5 a week. We've already talked about that. Just 1 July is still going on. We're keeping up with our trades journal. I got to make sure that I have a copy of that with me so that I can always write my stuff down. The E2T membership, morning calls, weekly training calls. This week we're still working charting, monthly coaching calls. Jamie did a Q&A. I hear he did a bang up job. Whoop, whoop. And of course we have a Telegram where we all hang out together. Okay. E2T Traders Declaration. I declare I'm a great trader. I declare I'm a successful trader. I declare I'm a focused trader. I declare my wins exceed my losses. My account's growing more and more each week. I'm a wise and knowledgeable trader. I always make smart and lucrative decisions for my portfolios. I declare I'm a level-headed trader who does not trade my emotions. Lord, it's you who gives us the power to get wealth. You teach our hands to war and our fingers to fight. Help us today to trade wisely and strategically in order to fulfill this purpose. Give us more than enough so we can have what we need and enough to be a blessing to others. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen, amen. All righty, I'm wrapping us up. I want you all to, number one, be wise. Don't forget, Powell comes on at 10. He's going to testify at 10 o'clock. So there's probably going to be some volatility that's going to happen in there. Keep that in mind. Of course, if you have trades that are ready to close, go ahead and close them. Let's not be greedy. Try not to be greedy when we're entering, getting our money. A steady 10, 15, 30, $40 is better than a steady minus 50, minus 70, minus 80 because you waited too long, right? If you can consistently compound 30, 40, $50 day after day, then you're going to be in the profits, okay? You're going to be in profit. All righty. You're not going to be able to find me by searching for me. You need a link. So send me a message, Ward, and I'll send you the link. You're not going to be able to search for me on Telegram. I don't think Telegram does it like that. It's weird that you can't find people like that, but I'll send you the link to the Telegram. Okay. Everybody, I want you to stay green and get this money. Have a great green day, everybody. Bye-bye.